going on, chat? What's going on, chat? What's going on, chat? Let's see what the stream look like. See if we're good. Good. Okay, I think we're good. Alright, so what's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. If you don't already know, this is coding every day. This is Coding Fab's coding every day until you can build a full stack application. Today we are continuing with what we had going on yesterday, which was the build a meme app, and we are continuing from where we left off. I would have streamed earlier, but I was busy distro hopping, so yeah, that was fun until I realized, great, shouldn't really be doing this. That's okay, now we know. So it's better knowing now. Anyway, day 12. Let's come to this and copy the link and let us paste it right here. Right, day 12, right? Day 12? Let's confirm that. Yeah, day 12. Okay. Post. And let us come here and change this title. Hold on. Let me get me some water. Let me get the chat pulled up so that I can see you guys say anything and everything. So yeah, we did clean up our distro a bit better now. My phone glitching. Phone glitching. Oh, it's not a main phone. It's like my old phone. Oh, it's not even working no more. It's not good though. Oh, I lied. It's not all good. Okay, now it's all good. All right. So this is already posted. I can just close that. And this needs to be changed to day 12. Is today day 12? Really? Yeah, it is. Okay. That's done. So yeah, just setting up stream for a bit and we'll get started. Get started, dude.
We have got a really great built-in JavaScript method for checking to see if an array holds a given value, and that method is called includes. Now, this is one of the more accessible JavaScript methods. What I'm saying is it's one of the easier ones to get your head around, so let's see it in action. Up here, I've got a const called emojis, and it just holds 3 animal emojis. Now, if I want to check if that array holds a specific emoji, I can do that using the includes method. So let's come down here. I'm going to set up a console.log, and I'm just going to take this array, emojis, and I'm going to ask a question. Does it include, and then in brackets, I'm going to provide it with whatever I'm looking for. In this case, I'm going to say I am looking for this chick emoji. So let's put that one in there. And this is going to give me an answer to my question. Does the array emojis include this chick emoji? Yes or no? So true for yes, false for no. Let's hit save and see what we get in the console. And we get true because the chick emoji is indeed there. Let's try with a different emoji, and I'm going to go for a horse. And let's hit save, and we're getting false. There is no horse in this array. So the syntax is really straightforward. We have just got the array, we call the .includes method, and we pass it whatever it is we're looking for. In this case, it was emoji. It could also be a string. Okay, let's close the console, and I'm just going to comment out all of that and uncomment some code down here. Right, what I've got here is a straightforward shopping list app. The way it works is
Actually, before we get started, hold on. I want to fix this. I feel like it's going to get in my way so much, so I'm gonna put these two on the top. I don't want this enabled though. It's alright. Just keep on going. Actually, let us first edit this to all visible.
You can type an item that you want to buy in here, and you can add it to your list. So let's go ahead, and I'll put rice, and I'll also add bread to my list. So all that's happening is that we've got an event listener on the button, and when the event listener is triggered, this function here is taking the item input value, which is of course coming from this input box here, and it is pushing it to this shopping list array. Then it's calling this render function, and this render function is just iterating through the array and creating HTML for each item on the shopping list. If you want to take a moment just to get your head around that, by all means pause now and just take a look at that code.
Let's see. Add item button and input item input list. Shopping list, add item button, add event list, click function, shopping list. Dot push item input value, author render function, which I do. Okay, it's down here. The render function says let HTML equal nothing, and then for that item of shopping list. So for each item shopping list, add that and make sure this is equal to the item itself, and then he proceeds to change the inner HTML of the list to this, and when he calls the render function here, so I put value, it renders, and then item input dot value resets back to nothing, and then it renders the input at the end of everything, even though you haven't clicked.
Okay, so this is working pretty well, but I have got one problem. At the moment I've got rice and bread on my list. Let's go ahead and add rice and add bread. And as the list goes on, well, we've got repeats there. I don't need to buy rice twice. I don't need to buy bread twice. What I want is to only be able to add an item to the shopping list if it's not already in the shopping list. Okay, here is your challenge. I want you to come in here inside this function in the event listener, and I want you to set up an if else. Only add an item to the shopping list array if it's not already in the shopping list array. If an item is a duplicate, just clear the input field, which we're already doing down here, and log out the phrase no duplicates. Now, I'm leaving this console.log up here just to remind you of the syntax to use the .includes method. Quite a tricky challenge because this is your first time using the includes method, but I know you're capable of this. Okay, so pause now, get this working, really give this your best shot, take all of the time you need, and when you're ready, come back and we'll have a look together.
Actually, you know what I want? I'm sorry, my last. I'm so indecisive. But last thing. Let's get Mac OS cursor. If it'll load, we'll get it. This one loaded. Okay, this doesn't look bad at all. Install this one. Ooh, they have a new one. Tahoe. I could try this one too. Okay. Oh no, it's only in zip. Oh, dang. Let's try these. Okay, this one's in depth. No. Let's just do that real quick. Which did I download? Was that the only one? No way. But I thought I downloaded more. Mac OS cursor. .7, 6.5. It's the same thing though. Try to switch it. I'm not feeling about this one. I'll try using this one. There's a one I had that was really clean though. It's not either of these. I don't know how to focus on questions right now. An addiction. I need somebody to save me from my addiction. Yeah, Mac OS is calm. No way. Let's see. Oh dude, there are more cursors now. Finally. This guy is barely update the cursors thing. Bro, I know for a fact they are more macOS exclusives. They're just trolling, bro. Stop trolling, bro. Yeah, they're gone. They're gone. What? Does it go back to 16? Come on. Oh, it does. Okay. Let's try and work with this for now. See that? How that holds up. I don't like it though. I don't know. For this. Yeah. Add an elf associated with the event listeners function. Only add an item to the shopping list already if it is not already in the shopping list already. If shopping list dot includes oh wait, this is the whole thing? Hold on. So I don't like doing this here. Let's do it in trust you, VS Code. Oops. So it is not. Well, I don't know. See, let me say that. Else. Oh yeah. Bro.
So what do we want to check for with input dot? Now we also need to make sure we clear the input field. That's okay. I'm just going to leave this line of code. We can just push through this, put in rice, and I'll put in, we cannot repeat existing items. Fantastic. When you're ready to move on, let's go.
All right.
Okay, so we can see the big problem that we've got here. Lots of these emotions are repeated, which is obviously not what we want at all. We don't need to have moody twice. In fact, we just want to reduce it down to this nice, neat list. So this next challenge deals with exactly that problem. I want you to refactor this nested for of so that an emotion is only pushed to emotions array if it is not already in emotions array. And I've just put here extra kudos if you use the logical not operator. And you can feel free to Google that if you don't know what it is. You don't have to use it to complete this challenge, but it does make it a little bit neater. Pause now, get that challenge sorted out, and I'll see you back here in just a moment.
this nested for so that emotion is only pushed to emotions array if it is not already in emotions array. mind is already ahead in Python. Ooh, let's go. Python for the win. Dang. Damn. Turns out.
Emotion. Setup and is looking a bit neater. I'll hit save.
Correct.
Actually want to include, if we can get works, a really we've got on the selected option. Often we create dynamic elements and our app needs to know which element a user has interacted with. Now that's really easy if you put an event listener on every element a user might interact with, every button for example. But adding endless event listeners can cause problems, so it's best to keep that to a minimum. So when we're faced with the problem of trying to work out which element a click came from, we need to turn to the event.target.id. If you've never come across this before, don't worry, we're going to have a look at it together. Check out my store where I'm selling really weird products. I have got an ostrich pillow. You don't put your head on it, you put your head in it. I've got bacon bandages for if you really want a dog to lick your wounds. And I've got a baby mop. Dress your baby in this, and as it crawls over the floor, it cleans. I haven't made these products up. These are all available to buy online today, but sadly not from my shop. Each one has a buy button, but the buy button doesn't actually do anything. Let's quickly check out the code. So all of these products live in this div with the ID and class of container, and they are injected into there by JavaScript. So over in the JavaScript, we can see that we've got this array of products, and down here we're iterating over the products, and each product gets a product name, price, image, and ID. Each are unique, and they all come from the data. Now, we have already said that we're not going to add an event listener to each button. But then how can I know which button has been clicked and which product has been bought? Well, that is where the event.target comes in. Back in the HTML, this div has an ID of container, and I've actually taken control of it already in the JavaScript. So I'm going to come down here right to the bottom, and I'm going to take container, and I'm going to set up an event listener. And that event listener is listening out for a click event, and when it detects a click, it's going to fire this function. Now, you might be saying, wait there, Tom, all of these products live inside the container. How is that going to help? How are we going to know where the click came from? Well, bear with me. This is where the magic happens, because this function takes in a parameter, and that parameter is the event, and it's often abbreviated just to E. Now, what is an event? Well, an event can be pretty much any kind of interaction in the browser, like a click, a double click, or perhaps some kind of scrolling. Now, at the moment, we're only listening out for clicks, so any event that we pick up is going to be a click event. Now, this parameter event is given to us for free. We don't need to declare it anywhere. It's just available as long as an event has taken place and that event caused the event listener to fire. Then that event will be available to us via this parameter. So let's log it out and see what it actually is. So I'm going to click on Buy Now, and down in the console, well, we get something which doesn't make a lot of sense to us. It just says pointer event is trusted true. Now, to really get to grips with the event, we need to go over to the DevTools in a browser like Chrome and have a look in that console. Now, I've already done that, and I've got some screenshots for us. Here's how they log out the pointer event. We get a bit more information, and the curly braces tell us that what we're dealing with is an object. If we click this little arrow, we can open up a whole wealth of information. Now, there is a lot going on in there, and we're going to skip over most of that and scroll down a little bit until we come to the target. Now, the target tells us where this event came from, and it's already telling us here that it came from a button with the ID of Ostrich Pillow. And if we just have a quick look at our product data, well, this one has got an ID of Ostrich Pillow. If we then click into the target, we get a whole load more information, but what we're really focused on right here is this ID, and there's confirmation it is Ostrich Pillow. Okay, so let's just remember what we did there. We started off with the event, we went into the target, and then we found the ID. So now let's just try logging that out instead. So right down here, back in this console.log, we've got e.target.id. So remember, the event is an object, so we can access things in it just with the dot notation. Now let's hit save. I'm going to click Buy Now, and we get Ostrich Pillow, Buy Now, Bacon Bandages, and lastly, Baby Mop. So we're doing all of that with just one event listener. We are picking up all of the events in this container, and we're logging out the ID of the element that was interacted with. Now, you might click on something which is inside the container, but is not actually a button. Well, if you do that, we're just going to log out an empty string. No harm done. In a production app, we would of course have to look at what we're doing with that event and make sure that nothing strange happens. But that is actually quite easily dealt with. So there we are. That is how we use the event.target.id, and that is a really useful tool and something you're going to use a million times in your career. When you're ready, let's move on. What we want to deal with now is the lack of styling when an option is selected. At the moment, we're just getting this default blue in the radio, but we're not getting any of this light pink or red highlighting or red in the input. And that is what we're aiming for. So we're going to break this up into parts. The first stage is about knowing which option, if any, is currently selected. And to do that, we need to have the app listen out for any change in these radio buttons, and we want to get the ID of that specific radio. I want you to add an event listener to Emotion Radios, and we've already taken control of Emotion Radios here. And this event listener should listen out for any change in our radio buttons. When it detects a change, it should log out the ID of the element that was selected. Now, this won't work if the event listener is listening out for a click, So Google what event to listen out for, and I have actually already given you a clue. Now, what we're going to log out is actually going to be exactly what we see in the label, because if you will remember, the label has got the emotion and the ID is also just the emotion. So what we want to see in the console is that when you click on the Moody radio, the word Moody is logged out down in the console. Okay, pause now, get this sorted, and I'll see you back here in just a minute. Event is trust pillow. Okay, so let's just now bacon bandages. It's going to log out an empty string, no harm done container, make sure, and something you're going to use a million times in your. What we want to deal with now is the line. So I want to listen out right there. The I Moody, we actually get the same one. That is going to be really okay. Next scrim. Okay, so we know that we can get the ID of an element when the user interacts with it. If I click Buy Now, we're going to log out Ostrich Pillow, and that is happening because we've got this event listener, it's listening out for clicks, and it's logging out the event.target.id, and that is giving us the ID of the element that was clicked. And that is really, really cool. But we're going to go one step further. What if after clicking this button, we want to do something with this product card, which is the parent element of the button? If we just have a quick look at this HTML string right here, we can see that this div has got a class of product, that's the whole product card, and the button is one of the children inside that div. Now you might think it would be quite hard to target this div. It's got no ID, so how can we take control of it? Well, we can do that with parent element. And let's have a look at that now. So the first thing that I'm going to do, inside this console.log, I'm actually going to take control of the element whose ID we're getting from event.target.id. So for example, if I click the Buy Now button, I'll be taking control of this button, which has got the ID of Ostrich Pillow. So inside the console.log then, document.getElementById, and then we will just have that ID in its parentheses. Now when I hit save and I click Buy Now, down in the console, we're now logging out the entire element. It's the button with the ID of Ostrich Pillow, or Bacon Bandages, or Baby Mom. Okay, so what about accessing the rest of the product card? Well, we can do that using parent element. So I'm just going to chain that onto the end right here, parent element. I'll hit save. Now, what are we going to get when I click Buy Now? If I open up the console, you can see that we're getting a div with the class of product. And if I click Buy Now on Bacon Bandages and Baby Mop, we get the same thing because they all live in a div with the class of product. So we are accessing the parent of the button, even though that parent doesn't have an ID. And to demonstrate that, instead of logging this out, why don't we make some stylistic changes? So we've accessed the parent element, we've got this product div. I'm going to say .style and .background color, and I'll set that equals to light blue. Now let's hit save, and when I click Buy Now, There we are, the product card actually changes its background color. So we are accessing this product div. And I can do that individually for each product. Okay, so that is how you can access a parent's element, even if it doesn't have an ID. We are going to put those skills to really good use in our app shortly. But before we do that, I want to show you a way of updating an elements class list with JavaScript. And that is going to give us massive powers to dynamically control how our elements are styled. So let's take a look at that.
Oh, you mean to do that? How about this one, chat? No, about this one. I'm getting sleepy, yo. My eyes cannot stay open. I think I'm gonna pause it right here. Yeah, I don't think I can make it the whole stream. You guys for watching. It's been a short stream. L stream. It's alright, we'll come back better tomorrow though. Keep on coming back better with harder punches. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. See you guys tomorrow. I hope I'll be able to stream early. I should be able to. If I don't, then I'm just procrastinating at this point. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.